has spooked Pakistan and it's not even released just yet. Thanks very much for joining us on this special broadcast. I'm Tina Sharma. When director Kabeer Khan's Bajrangi Bhaijaan released a few weeks ago, it opened to rave receptions in Pakistan. Now, when the same director's next is scheduled for release, the Saif Ali Khan star of Phantom, Pakistan is so spooked that a court has banned the release based on the trailer alone. The plea in court was filed by Jamaat-ud-Dawa chief and 26/11 Mumbai attack mastermind Hafiz Saeed. His contention was that the film contains filthy propaganda against him and his outfit. So why is Pakistan ready to lap up an Indian movie when it depicts what suits them, but running scared when the ugly flip side of the coin, the harsh reality, is exposed? Is indoctrination of its people so essential to its existence that a film based on a real event, the cowardly 26/11 attacks, scares them so much? Joining us now on this special broadcast is Phantom's writer and director Kabeer Khan. We'll also be joined by leading man Saif Ali Khan in just a bit. And from Pakistan, we have with us Ahmed Raza Qasoori, constitutional expert and vice president of the All Pakistan Muslim League. Good evening, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Kabeer, I'll come to you first. Absolutely loved Bajrangi Bhaijaan. Looking forward to Phantom. But the question to you now is, how do you feel about the fact that a man like Hafiz Saeed, a shameless terrorist murderer like Hafiz Saeed, goes to court to try and get your film banned?
As I've said earlier, it sounds bizarre, it sounds surreal. A man who, if you just Google him or see his sort of hate speeches on YouTube and see the kind of venom that he spews sort of against everybody, especially India, that person says and tries to say that my film shouldn't be seen in his country because I'm spewing venom and I'm spreading poison without even seeing the film. I just find it a little surreal.
Yeah, so let's in fact, Saif, before we come to you, let's go across to Ahmed Raza Qasoori and really try and figure out what is the reasoning behind it. First of all, Mr. Qasoori, whatever happened to creative freedom, freedom of speech in your supposed democracy? What exactly is being objected to in this film, which is not even released yet?
You see, India tried to project itself as a secular state, but in fact, in reality, it is a Hindu state. And its treatment to the minority.
Says who? You have absolutely no right to say that, sir. We are a secular democracy and you have absolutely no right to say something like that. You cannot say something like that. You are not an authority on India.
Your treatment towards Christians,
one second, Mr. Qasoori, we take extreme objection to what you have said because you cannot pass judgments on what our country is.
It's known to the entire world.
1 second before,
it's a Brahman. You have a Brahman democracy. Please listen to me. You have a Brahman democracy where the Hindu Pandit has got different rights, Kshatri has got different right, and Shudra has got no right. Now the position is that this movie which you have produced, see, unfortunately it has a bias against Pakistan. Your RAW is involved in the
hang on, sorry, just first of all, you haven't even seen the movie.
Exactly. Yes, Saif, 1 second.
But how can you say what this movie is about when you haven't even seen it? That's the silliest thing I've heard all week.
Position is that you talk about Hafiz Saeed. Why don't you talk about Colonel Prodh, who was responsible of killing of 50 innocent Pakistani passengers who had gone to India and they were coming back peacefully. And
Mr. Qasoori,
we burned them alive.
But the film doesn't have to write about whatever he feels like. Okay, 1 second. You've had your say. Saif wants to come in. And, before I go across to him, let me point out, you're talking about different rights for Muslims and Hindus in this country. What we have right now on the show talking to you are two proud Indian Muslims. Mr. Raza, please be very clear about that.
Listen,
yes, Saif, would you like to respond to all that he said now?
Unfortunately, these Muslims are suppressed Muslims who are scared of the massive majority.
Mr. Ahmed Raza Qasoori, 1 second, you have had your say. Let Saif Ali Khan respond now.
Sir.
Yes, Saif.
Excuse me, sir. We are at the top of the game over here. We're not suppressed at all.
And also, before saying what kind of film this is and what this film is about, I mean, you haven't even seen the movie. Hang on a second. Have you seen the film? How can you say it's anti-Pakistan? It's not anti-Pakistan.
See the position.
It's not anti-Islam. It's anti only about the people that we have said have planned 26/11 in our country.
Is the film anti-Pakistan or is the film anti-terror?
Of course not.
You don't.
It's not anti-Pakistan. It's only anti-terrorism.
If you get one of Pakistan bashing, you are trying to project Pakistan as an epicenter
that's not
of
true
terrorism,
at all.
which is totally incorrect. You see, the position is that Pakistan
excuse me, we're not
is a
trying to show
frontline
that.
state against terrorism. We have lost over 50,000 people in that fight.
And we have said that in the film. We have said exactly that same line in the film.
Saif,
to the tune of
Saif,
100 billion
Saif, come out with the fact. It cannot be a coincidence that you and Kabeer have gone ahead with the male lead protagonist in this movie being an Indian Muslim. Isn't that a clear message to people like Mr. Qasoori?
It's very unfortunate.
Mr. Ahmed Raza Qasoori.
I think you should hear what he has to say and then cut him off because he's not going to let us talk.
If you want to put your point across, you have to let the others talk. Yes, Saif.
What's the question, ma'am?
Now, for instance,
I mean, I've heard his point of view. He's saying that we're showing.
Saif Ali Khan is
Mr.
sitting here.
Raza Qasoori, you will please stop talking right now and you will let other people speak. You will have your chance to respond. Please have some decency and allow the other guests on the show to speak.
Pakistan, General
Kabeer Khan and Saif Ali Khan, would you like to tell him what is the message in your film?
Okay, I've heard him what he's trying to say. And, oh my God, there he goes again.
You do not miss any opportunity one of Pakistan bashing. You have not recognized partition of the subcontinent from its very inception. You are the one who truncated Pakistan into two in 1971.
You have completely gone off the point. What are you even talking about, Mr. Ahmed Raza Qasoori? If you cannot even stick to the point of the discussion, I would suggest you allow other people to speak.
By the Indian Army.
1 second.
And the Prime Minister of India went.
Please have the courtesy to let other people speak, especially when you're saying absolutely irrelevant things.
With pride said, West, we supported you.
Excuse me, can we say something, please?
In breaking of Pakistan.
Can you see how courteous Saif is being?
How can we?
Can you please extend the same courtesy? He's still being polite to you. Let him talk.
Excuse me a second, sir.
Leaders who were invited by the Pakistan High Commissioner.
He's going all over the place.
I think you should please cut him off.
The Foreign Minister of
Pakistan.
We'll
just do that, Saif. Why don't you have your say and we will just do that. Please go ahead and say what you need to say.
Okay, so I can't hear anything. See, I'd say I understand what he's. I understand somewhere where he's coming from. I mean, I have family in Pakistan. I don't know if you do, or I mean, a lot of people especially Muslims whose families predate partition will have family in Pakistan. And aside from that, I mean, this film isn't anti-Pakistan. I mean, we realize there are very complex issues at work. I'm sure Pakistan has a point of view on Kashmir. I'm sure the Kashmiris have a point of view on Kashmir. We have all read about this over the years. We've understood. We know there hasn't been a plebiscite in Kashmir. We know what all the arguments are. But our film is not that, and neither are we politicians. We've simply made a film that is anti-terrorism and a film that's anti-26/11. Is this gentleman saying that there aren't elements in the mafia that live in Pakistan? Is he saying that there aren't elements of, for example, the LET that function in Pakistan? Is he trying to say that doesn't happen?
Also, what Mr. Qasoori is trying to do is exactly what Hafiz Saeed did in his petition. What he's trying to do is he's trying to make Hafiz Saeed the face of Pakistan, which I'm sure millions of Pakistanis will be uncomfortable, and we definitely don't recognize him as the face of Pakistan. Our film is against certain elements that unfortunately operate inside Pakistan, who masterminded 26/11. That's what our film is against. Our film is not at all against the people of Pakistan. In fact, it makes a strong point that the people of Pakistan are as much victims of terrorism as we are. He himself right now told us that 50,000 people have died due to terrorist attacks in Pakistan. Can those people ever be sympathizing with the Lashkar?
And also, there are quite a few Pakistani heroes in our film. If you watch the film, there are many characters.
Firstly, all this is is all assumption. They haven't even
seen the movie, which is absurd. So he's just taking off without having any information.
I think Kabeer just made a really important point when he talks about the fact what gives Hafiz Saeed the right to represent the people of Pakistan. We've seen what people of Pakistan want and what they love with the reception that Bajrangi Bhaijaan got there. There are people there who want to see the reality, and there are flip sides to every story. What gives Hafiz Saeed the right to go to court saying he speaks for the people of Pakistan?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do.
And
what he's trying to say is that an attack on Lashkar is an attack on Pakistan, and I strongly reject that. An attack on Lashkar is an attack on the people who masterminded 2611.
And Saif, this is not the first time it's happened to you. In the past, your agent Vinod, has also been banned or not screened in Pakistan. It's basically indoctrination, isn't it? Because we make movies where we show our own social ills.
Also,
we show our corrupt politicians, we show our murderers, we show serial killers. Because films are a mirror of society.
Hang on a second. No, I'm saying with the best of intentions also films get banned in Pakistan. I mean, Agent Vinod's intention, the heroine was Pakistani, there were a lot of people that were pro-peace between the two countries that we tried to show.
My film, Ek Tha
Tiger also
got banned.
Yes.
It's not I think if you point out a realistic situation also with Pakistan, they will ban it. And I'm not saying we won't ban it if they make a film. We might ban it too.
But precisely the point is that, the film should not be pulled into politics. There will always be this, so we have a contentious relationship. There will always be hostility when it comes to politics. But we should not allow the common man of both countries to be pulled into this. And what they're trying to do is what we're trying to say is there are elements that create a certain atmosphere of hate and terror, and that is why these elements need to be eliminated, because every time they have an operation or a mission, a situation is created in both countries. There can never be true people-to-people contact, because 12611 makes sure that for the next 5-6 years nobody wants that kind of warmth between the people, and this is exactly what their agenda is. Their agenda is hate.
It's the agenda. That's absolutely spot on, Kabeer. That's the point. That's the agenda. Now, I'm just coming back to you, Mr. Ahmed Raza Qasoori, but please do have the courtesy to allow other people to speak as well. Now, the clear point coming through from the director and the actor of the film is that it is not anti-Pakistan, it is anti-terror. And in going to court, hasn't Hafiz Saeed accepted that he is the mastermind of the 2611 attacks? Otherwise, what is he taking objection to? And what gives him the right to speak for the rest of the people of Pakistan? Based on what?
See, the position is that Hafiz Saeed has not been convicted by any court of law in Pakistan. If you are trying to connect him with the Bombay incident, then you must realize that we sent
even if we take that at face value, the fact is that the Jamaat-ud-Dawa is... Hafiz Saeed's counsel in court said that the JUD is not a proscribed terror organization. This is what he said in court, but that is wrong, sir. The fact that it is wrong. It is well known internationally, and the United Nations Security Council proscribed it as a terror organization way back in 2008. So if he's the head of the JUD, which is an internationally known and recognized terror organization, how can you contest the fact that he's not a terrorist?
Forget about the United Nations. It's basically turned into a Christian organization, and it is everywhere where there are Muslim causes. Its attitude is always known that it will be hostile to the Muslim causes. So forget about that. I am talking now that
forget about the UN.
A commission to report the evidence.
He's saying forget about what the UN has to say.
And
the UN doesn't know what it's talking about.
Only recorded their evidence. We said their evidence will be subjected to cross-examination, because in the eye of law, a simple statement is neither here nor there unless
your country might decide to pass off the Jamaat-ud-Dawa as a charitable organization, but that's not what the world recognizes it as.
See, if you are not helping the process of
Mr.
law
Ahmed
to move
Raza
forward,
Qasoori, would you not accept the fact that this entire reaction, this knee-jerk reaction has happened even before anyone's seen the film? Saif, you wanted to come in on something. Just make your point and then I'll come back to you, Mr. Qasoori. Yes, Saif.
No, I'm just saying that first of all, nobody's seen the film to tell us what kind of film it is about. And secondly, it is not anti-Pakistan. And if the character, there was a character in this book, Mumbai Avengers, called Haris Saeed, on which we based the character in the film. And nobody had any objection to what was written in the book. Perhaps they hadn't read it. The names are not the same names as this gentleman, Hafiz Saeed. His name is not being used. And I think that's a cinematic courtesy that we've shown, because perhaps the matter is still in some sort of sub judice contention in Pakistan, whereas 50 other countries have already passed judgment. India is the offended party. Pakistan has taken its time passing judgment on this person, but as far as we are and in India are concerned, there are a few elements that are very anti-India that reside in Pakistan. Is this a fact that is also going to be disputed by the gentleman?
Now, you know, Mr. Raza Qasoori, this brings me back to the question I've already asked you, which you haven't answered. As Saif has just pointed out, the name Hafiz Saeed has not been used anywhere in the film. So the fact that he's taken objection to it and gone to court and sought a ban on the film and got it, doesn't that show a guilty conscience? What is he reacting to if he's not even mentioned in the film? What is his problem then?
See, Saif Ali Khan says that in the film, his name has not been used. Of course, it might not have been used, but there's something called in law innuendo that by reference some incident or some event or some individual is being highlighted. So he has every right if through innuendo he feels that although his name has not been taken in the film itself, but the angling of the film is on him, it is being focused on him, so he has got every right to take the matter in the court of law.
So he's objecting to what you're saying is innuendo against him. Okay, that he's objecting to what you're saying is innuendo against him, but Kabeer Khan, how does that represent the people of Pakistan? That's Hafiz Saeed.
Exactly my point. I think it's fair enough that if he thinks that his reputation is at stake over here and he takes objection to it, absolutely, he has every right to do so as an individual. But he has no right to try and project the film to be anti-Pakistan just because it's hitting out at what he feels is, close to comfort for him.
In fact, we could sue him for damages.
Yes, Saif. Saif, don't people find ways to watch the movie anyway?
When you ban a film, I'm just saying, when you ban a film, I mean, you limit its financial perspective, I mean, its financial, what's the word, prospects slightly, which is also an important fact. I mean, this could be damaging, equally damaging to us. But that doesn't limit us from making a film that we still feel that telling uncomfortable truths is something we'd rather do.
That's the point.
Unfortunately,
Mr. Ahmed Raza Qasoori, do films always have to show just the positive side of life? Don't films reflect the social ills which exist?
In this
my point to Mr. Qasoori is that
Muslim card has been used, and
it's
the
not
whole
a Muslim
slant
card.
is that the Muslim community of India is loyal to the state of Pakistan.
What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with Islam.
If
Kabeer Khan, please come in on
this. The Muslims of India are loyal to the state of
India. One second, madam. What is he saying? He said that a Muslim card is being used. What do you mean?
Yes, that you're playing the Muslim card.
It is the anti-Muslim stance that they are.
How can this film be anti-Muslim? There's 3 Muslims who've made this movie. Listen, this gentleman needs to get his facts straight. From Saif Ali Khan to Kabeer Khan to Sajid Nadiadwala, the producer, the director, the lead actor, and the writer are 4 Muslims there.
To even be able to even put out a statement like that, it's ridiculous.
And Kabeer, therefore I must ask you, is it intentional that your lead, the character in the film also, Kabeer, is an Indian Muslim? Was that an intentional choice?
Exactly, Daniel Khan. Daniel Khan is the name of the character who goes after the documents.
Your loyalty to the state of India.
So, unfortunately, since you live on the other side, you're not aware of the reality of this country, but we don't need to prove anything over here.
Anti-Pakistan.
Yeah, you don't need to prove anything. 1 second. Okay, Mr.
We are not anti-Pakistan.
Another allegation. 1 second, let Saif Ali Khan respond to that. What he has said is that you and Kabeer, the likes of you being minorities in this country, feel compelled to show your loyalty to the country because you feel you need to prove it.
No, we're loyal to the country because it's our country. We don't need to prove it to anybody.
Mr.
Mr. Qasoori,
unfortunately, they are all working in Bollywood, where the Hindu money. With the Hindu money, they are thriving. They are trying to live.
You loved it when Bajrangi Bhaijaan came to Pakistan, didn't you? You absolutely loved it when what is shown suits you.
Very heavily towards the Indian thought process.
Why weren't you shunning and condemning Indian cinema when Bajrangi Bhaijaan was getting rave receptions across your country?
By the way, madam, what's the name of the journalist we're talking to?
No, he's not a journalist.
This is Tina here, Saif.
Hi, listen, who are we speaking to? Who is this gentleman?
We are speaking to Mr. Ahmed Raza Qasoori, who is the Vice President of the All Pakistan Muslim League.
Okay, Mr. Qasoori, can I just make a point over here? since you're going about the Muslim card and the fact that it's all propaganda. Yeah, all I want to say is that if you, I know probably you don't see films, if you see my body of work, you will see that I don't make anti any community or anti any country films. My last film, Bajrangi Bhaijaan, was very well received in Pakistan, and that's a film whose ideology, I stand by that ideology. I believe that there should be people-to-people friendship, and this Phantom also comes from the same ideology, because I feel till there are elements like Lashkar operating and creating these kind of terror attacks, there can never be true people-to-people friendship. That is the reason why we feel in this film we have taken a cinematic liberty to try and eliminate these elements from the subcontinent. This has nothing to do with being anti a country. This is in fact in one way also promoting a people-to-people friendship, because till these hate mongers are removed from our societies, there can never be true friendship. And please try and understand, please don't look at countries as one big amorphous mass. They're not. They're made of people. There are good, there are bad. There are people who are out to create terror. There are people who just want to live peacefully and have, friendly neighborhood.
Well, I think that's just brilliantly summed up, Kabeer Khan. That's really the message that should go through. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Saif Ali Khan, and also many thanks to Ahmed Raza Qasoori for joining us from Pakistan.